Welcome back to Across Louisiana. You know, we always love to hear here on the show about folks in the greater Baton Rouge area giving back, helping the less fortunate. And there's an organization here in greater Baton Rouge doing great work in that regard. It's the Capital Area Alliance for the Homeless. And here to tell us about some of the exciting things they have going on is Randy Nichols. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
For the folks who might not be familiar with the outreach that you're doing and the difference you're making here in Baton Rouge, tell them a little bit about it.
Well, Capital Area Alliance for the Homeless is a coalition of homeless service providers. We range from very large nationally affiliated nonprofits to local and new startup nonprofits, but all of our member agencies have some part of their work, or sometimes all of their work, relates to trying to end homelessness, to address the needs that homeless people have, to help them overcome their barriers and help them to gain housing.
Obviously, people are familiar with them. You see the homeless here in the greater Baton Rouge area, but give me an idea of what is the scope of that here in this community?
It's difficult, and you have to define your terms of homeless.
Right.
We work and receive a lot of funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and their definition of homelessness are people who are living on the street in a place not meant for human habitation, or are in emergency shelters having come from the street. So with that number, we may have 500 to 1,000 homeless people in Baton Rouge. But if you take the people that are have some problems maintaining their housing, they're at risk of homelessness, or maybe they're couch surfing with family or friends, right, obviously the number becomes larger.
Absolutely. Well, I know to that end, in order to sort of help address this problem more, you have a conference coming up involving best practices for that. Give us a scoop on that.
Well, April 13 through 15, Baton Rouge is hosting all of the regions of Louisiana to come together for an affordable housing and homeless conference, where we do talk about best practices, we do talk about the work that we all share and what is the best way to address homelessness. We'll have about 30 breakout sessions, about 5 plenary sessions, and in the breakout sessions we'll talk about legal issues facing homeless people. We'll talk about trauma-informed case management. When you stop and think about it, it's pretty obvious, but people who are homeless experience a lot of trauma, and we need to be mindful of that as we're trying to work with them.
It's great that you're bringing all those folks together, because obviously this is not a problem that is just confined to this area. I know you have something exciting called the OneStop Center. Give me a scoop on that.
Great. It's the signature project of the Capital Area Alliance for the Homeless for our membership. We banded together to build 36 efficiency apartments for homeless people with disabilities, but also a services center where we have 15 nonprofit agencies operating 23 different programs.
Wow.
Ranging from a drop-in day shelter for homeless folks, a medical clinic where they can get some primary medical care, legal services to help with disability issues, and a number of case management, substance abuse, vocational rehab, mental health treatment. So we've tried to bring together under one roof as many services as possible that will help homeless clients become rehoused, help them gain an income, access some rental subsidy funds. And it's something that makes it easier for the homeless clients, but it also makes it more efficient and cost-effective for the nonprofit agencies to work together, because usually it takes more than one program to help a person become rehoused.
Randy, it's tremendous work that you're doing here in the community, and we obviously want everyone to find out as much about it as they can and get involved. Where do they need to go to find out more information?
You can go to our website where we have a lot of information, www.homelessnbr.org. There's a link to the conference we're having if you're interested in finding more about that. There's information about Capital Area Alliance for the Homeless, our board of directors, the work we do, and there's an opportunity to click on a button and make a donation.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on and telling us all about it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That's going to do it for this edition of Across Louisiana. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us today, and thank you for joining us as well. Get out there and have a great weekend, everybody.